I'm Taylor Price, and I'm a communication major.
Hi, I'm Dominic Mezzalene, and I'm a political science major.
My name is Brandon Califer, and I'm a biotechnology major.
Eagle News prints newspapers once a week, 3,000 copies to be exact. But only 75% of actual newspapers are taken by students and staff, which means 750 newspapers are left over in a week, in which totals to 3,000 newspapers in a month. See how much good that can do for the environment? Captain Planet.
A lot of the things that or a lot of the practices that we implement out here at the Food Forest have much broader and much larger implications that are applied globally to what's going on. So this civic engagement group approached me about partnering with Eagle News and bringing their excess newspaper that isn't used out here to the Food Forest or to be used by other civic engagement projects. And they just wanted me to help them figure out how that was possible. From the second I heard about this project, I was absolutely excited because it has, once again, those global implications that the Food Forest is always promoting. So this Eagle newspaper being brought out to the Food Forest through this community partnership with Eagle News is going to help us build soil, and we're doing it in multiple ways that I've already shown Brandon out here, the multiple different composting methods. We have a standing pile, the black soldier fly bin, and some other techniques.
Putting it in the trash.
And so the implications are global, because if we can teach students how to start using a waste product, and that they even redefine that waste product as being useful again and upcycled into something else, and all of its nutrients are being brought back into their essential being, and so this newspaper will be broken up into its nutrients like carbon and nitrogen and phosphorus, and then broken up into the soil and feeding little microbes and feeding cockroaches and feeding worms and flies and stuff. So if you can get people to see that process as the end goal, as the life cycle for a newspaper, as the life cycle for all this food waste that looks like it's waste, but it's not really. This will be useful to us because it's just sugars for those little animals. That's what this project is really trying to do. That's the goal, is to shift the paradigm, the way that people see the world, into something else. And so this has already happened with the civic engagement group. I had helped Brandon and Dominic and Taylor partner with Eagle News and get all these newspapers, and now we needed something to do with them. So another civic engagement project I was working on is building a garden at the Naples Shelter for Abused Women and Children, and that's exactly what we did. They knew now that there was a partnership with Eagle News and the Food Forest, and that I could get these papers, so we used the papers at the shelter and sheet mulched, and it was one of the first steps in the soil remediation process that we were able to have there. So not only does this Eagle News help to feed the food foresters out here who are always using the food out here, who are enjoying their meals every day because we have highly organic and nutrient-rich food from the food forest. Because of partnerships like this, it wouldn't be possible without the partnerships and the relationships we form with the community out here to run something like this. So we're so privileged to have people like Eagle News and civic engagement groups coming out here. If anyone asks us to help them with growing food, it's gonna go to that cause. And so there are global implications here. We're not only feeding students, but we're feeding families, and we can't thank the community and our civic engagement classes enough for continuing to bring these projects to us. And these will only go to future civic engagement groups that are going to need these and who we can facilitate, and it's going to build great gardens in the long run. What Eagle News doesn't realize at this point is that a lot of their newspapers have already been going to building gardens. They definitely helped me out when I built my garden back home. That was a 25 by 20 foot area, so Eagle News was perfect. I didn't need too much, but I didn't need too little at the same time. This newspaper is soy based, which is why we use it. We could use New York Times or Naples Daily News or any number of newspapers, but we don't want the heavy metals to accumulate in our gardens from the ink. And so with a soy-based ink product, it'll all biodegrade. Brandon asked if the plants will grow up through this newspaper once they're planted, and so that's one of the functions that this is serving. Since this is going to decompose readily into soil, since it has that soy-based ink, and since it's a paper product, so it's biomass, and it used to be trees, and so it'll decompose into the primitive nutrients that it's composed of. This project is looking to redefine how we use the word waste and what the word waste means to us. This is no longer waste. Once it goes in here, this is going to turn into fresh soil. So what I would do is just finally shred up this Eagle News as it's already been done in here. You can see a lot of it has already turned into soil in there. So anyone who wants to get into composting their food waste, we're doing it out here at the Food Forest, and this is a very successful bin type, but we haven't been successful with compost making yet, which is why this partnership with Eagle News is so important, because we'll be able to get this whole bin up and running with a constant source of carbon and nitrogen. But this is what we have so far.